So, let me tell you something. I want to say, I think the day before yesterday, maybe a hair before that, I started watching Defending Jacob, which I want to say each episode is between like 40-ish, 50-ish minutes long, and it's only 8 episodes. This is the most binge-worthy show that I've watched since Queen's Gambit and Servant. I'm not sure about Queen's Gambit, but I will definitely be reviewing Servant 110%. That show is so fucking good. I could be totally wrong. But I feel like a lot of people have slept or they're sleeping on this show. So I just want to say right off the bat, this show, in my personal opinion, is a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10. I had a fucking blast with this show. I was watching this show shortly after the Super Bowl because I coincidentally, just by happenstance, I started watching a recommended clip of the series on YouTube, and I was just blown away by Chris Evans' performance and the performance from Jaeden Martell as Jacob Barber. And I remember just being like, whoa. You know, from the outside looking in, Defending Jacob looks, I don't know, it just looks really boring. And a lot of the bad reviews, it's just like, I am so glad I gave this show a chance. But no, Andy Barber, Jacob Barber, and Lori Barber, played by Chris Evans, Jaeden Martell as Jacob, and Michelle Dockery as Lori Barber. I've never seen Michelle prior to the show, no offense to Michelle, and I had no idea that she had an accent, so wow. Shout out to her performance. Well, I'll be praising her performance in just a little bit. Basically, this show is about the Barber family, and unfortunately for these niggas, on a stereotypical day, the Barber family wakes up, but unfortunately, on this day, a murder has happened. A young boy has been killed. And shockingly enough, Jacob, of all people, this 14-year-old boy, Chris Evans' son, gets accused of murder. And again, I literally cannot go any further without talking about spoilers. There would literally be no point in going any further without talking about spoilers. So if you're interested in the show, fuck the trailer. Literally just watch it. Just flat out, just watch it cold. Yeah, I just know that I loved it. Now we're going to switch to spoilers. Everything about this show is fucking fantastic. If I was to look for flaws, the only real flaws that I have is that I think they could have been more visually inventive with the cinematography. I think they could have done more to wow the audience with the cinematography. But that's me scraping the bottom of the barrel looking for flaws. Like, I really dug the cinematography. It's got a cold David Fincher-ish kind of vibe to it. The entire cast is fantastic. I literally don't think that there's a weak link in any part of the cast. I thought that Cherry Jones as Joanna, as the lawyer for the Barber family, I thought that she was I thought that she was great. But there's a scene between her and Jacob that is so good. The scene in which she is questioning Jacob, and she's grilling him hard about the day of, from his perspective, what happened that day. That sequence is so hair-raisingly suspenseful that I almost felt like I was covered in sweat when Jacob and Cherry were done talking, because my head's spinning, just as it's spinning the entire show, trying to figure out, did Jacob do it? Pablo Schreiber is amazing as Neil. He is the perfect mirror opposite to Andy Barber. Watching Andy Barber and Neil sort of butt heads, you know, in the lawyer room is amazing. Is amazing. Did I say the lawyer room? In court. Like like on one level, Neil 100% comes across as a dick. But at the same time, a lot of times I'm like, listen, Andy, I get that your boy's coming for you, but to be fair, it's for good reason. Like Neil, he does come across as a dick. There's sometimes where he'll refer to Andy's barber, or he'll refer to Andy's father, and it's just like, fam, really? It's kind of a low blow. But at the same time, Jacob seems suspicious as fuck. And what's truly remarkable, and I can tell that a lot of people are not going to like this, I love that the show ended in such an ambiguous way. I love that the show ends and it's up to the audience to determine whether Jacob is innocent or not. In my opinion, this is not a misfire. That is fucking brilliant, because that is what's going to make me dig deeper into the show in hindsight, and will make me want to rewatch it. I was just thinking, like, you know what? As crazy as this might sound, and I say it that way because the show is incredibly dark, you know. It definitely has. It's definitely like a slow burn. I mean, it's like essentially like an 8-hour movie, asking if this fucking 14-year-old boy committed these tragedies. And what's interesting is that the show allows for very unique character observation. I can't remember, not since Nick Dunn have I from Gone Girl. Not since Nick Dunn have I just been obsessed with knowing like is this character good or bad? Like, what the fuck happened that day? Like, whether he did it or not, the eerie part is there are creepy red fucking flags surrounding this kid's life, whether he did it or not. It's extraordinary how ambiguous it is when the show ends. Like, it's just like, oh my god. Another great question is, what's worse? He did it or not doing it? Because I don't even think that question is that obvious. Because it's like, fuck, if he didn't do it, it's like, dog, their lives just got torn apart for no reason. Before we get lost in the weeds of whether Jacob did it or not, before we go down that rabbit hole any further, I just gotta say, Pablo as Neil, I thought he crushed it. Like, there's a scene where Chris Evans like grabs Pablo and like shoves him against the wall, and like just, you know, his reaction as Neil. You know, all the scenes in which you can tell that Neil is very questionable about Jake. I thought that Pablo killed it. I thought that Cherry Jones killed it. I thought that Gabriel, I even thought she was strong. I thought J.K. Simmons. I thought that J.K. Simmons was really something as the father to Chris Evans. I thought he was a fine choice to play the father. Oh, I loved the mystery elements surrounding Father James, and some of the insane narrative reveals and plot twists stemming from J.K. Simmons. What Father James O. Whoo! Michelle Dockery was awesome in here. She is so quietly, emotionally moving and strikingly relatable. Just legitimately feels like a lost, lately emotionally compromised American mother. Jaeden Martell fucking murders it. Like, no offense to the kid, but like, it would be not, like, I've only ever seen him in like weird creepy shit. Dog, he is so good as Jacob. I am so conflicted with Jacob. I have this like love-hate relationship with Jacob. It's like, fuck, it's like I relate to Jacob so hard. He seems like his social skills are definitely not that sharp. He seems so distant, just so antisocial. He just seems so, I go back and forth on whether he's disturbed or whether he was just kind of sort of going through some of the shit that I was going through as a kid. I was a bit of a brooding kid. I was a bit of a, if I got angry, I might go to my room, slam the door shut, and blast some Marilyn Manson. You know, I did that as a kid. You know, you know, if I was accused of murder, you know, if someone was to look at the filmography that I was growing up with as a kid, like Clockwork Orange and Hellraiser, they might have thought I was a murderer. So, but like, he it's amazing how Jacob can creep you out, and he can make you go, I kind of feel where he's coming from. I've never thought about how just being weird and being different and being socially awkward, it's amazing how all that can make you look so guilty, you know? It's like whether he did it or not, let's scoot that aside from it. His extremely weak social skills is enough to make anybody look guilty, which is frightening and revelatory and just terrifying. The man of the hour, Chris Evans. Marvel aside, I feel like Chris Evans is so underrated. I mean, him in Sunshine, Snowpiercer, I think he's a really solid, really capable actor. I hope he gets more work like this. Honestly, he's so convincing as this normal-ish looking American dad going through hard times that it's kind of freaky to think that he played Captain America. His beard game is A1. So there's a sequence where Jacob, he posts a picture that's very similar to American Psycho. And there's a sequence where Chris Evans just goes fucking off on Jacob. And like just as one example, his performance in this sequence is so convincing. It's so authentic. There's nothing cheesy about it. Jaeden Martell and Chris Evans are carrying this show on their back. And they just knock it out of the park. Fam, the scene in which Lori Barber is driving down the street and it's raining outside, and she's so emotionally distressed. She's literally just like, in some ways, it almost felt like she wasn't even talking to Jacob sometimes. She was just like, oh my God, I'm never gonna know, am I? I'm never gonna know. And she keeps going faster and faster. It reminds me of that really similar, really fucked up sequence from Vanilla Sky with Cameron Diaz and Tom Cruise. Love that movie. No, dog. That sequence with the mother barreling down the fucking street, and she's just going faster and faster, and fucking Jacob is just like, Mom, I didn't fucking do it. What the fuck? Mom, you're scaring me. Like that whole sequence in the crash has got to be one of the most adrenaline-inducing sequences from a series that you're likely ever to see. I can't believe that fucking happened. Holy shit. Holy shit. And now, back to the ultimate question, so we can close this out. Did Jacob do it or not? I think maybe he didn't do it. Gun to my head, I think he didn't do it. There's been two, I mean, obviously, come on. Of course it seems like he did it. Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus Christ. I could have told you before pressing play on episode 1, just by looking at the kid in the promotional material, that he probably fucking did it. But I'm going to be honest with you. Gun to my head, fuck, it's too hard to tell, but I think he didn't do it. Just because the show is trying so hard to make it look like he did do it, fuck it. Gun to my head, I think he didn't do it. And the sequence where the mother crashes in the car with Jacob, I think the answer is in the details in that sequence. Whether he did it or not, I think the true answer can be gleaned from this car crash situation. I I don't know, to be in such a emotionally stressful situation and to still be lying, I don't know. I mean, listen, I don't give a fuck how detached this boy is from reality. For him to still be lying while his mother is clearly about to kill him, I mean, it's like, my nigga, if there's ever a time to tell the truth, it would have been in that moment. And curiously, like immediately, like his first immediate response is like, "No, mom, like I already told you, like what the fuck, like I thought I already made this clear." There's something in that makes me think like, especially when you consider him being like, you know what, mom, I did do it. I did do it. Will you stop the car now? I did do it. Like that. I think he didn't do it, which, I don't know, in some ways, him not doing it, it kind of makes the show a little bit darker than if he had done it in some ways. Does that make sense? Because, God, the way that the accusation in itself destroys this family from the inside out is so unnerving to watch. Clearly, this show left this mark on me. Again, it's a 10 out of 10. I had despite how grim and fucked up it was, I had a blast watching this show. It was just so well done. It was just so well done. Damn, what a solid mystery.